We got corporate earnings. We got trade talks, we hope, tomorrow. We've got the Federal Reserve tomorrow, the jobs number Friday. What's top of mind for you?
Well, I think right now earnings are top of mind. I think we already know probably what's coming out of the Fed. And trade talks also important. All of it's important, Brian. But I think right now people are focused on earnings. You're starting to see a lot of slowdown stories and a lot of more negative guidance out of the earnings numbers. And now remember, Brian, these numbers are being guided down from very, very hot numbers. So it's still actually quite a good outlook. But the market is priced in, such high expectations that we're still sort of starting to look at a slower expectation.
I don't want to take anything away from our amazing team coverage of all these earnings that are crossed for the next couple of days. However, if the earnings come in good, if the guidance comes in good, but the Federal Reserve becomes way hawkish, a lot more hawkish than we expected tomorrow, could that derail everything?
Well, that could certainly put a dampener on it. I think right now that it would be unusual for the Fed to come out with any kind of a surprise tightening, but everybody is watching every word in the FOMC, and you're right. Any kind of switch to a more hawkish outlook, basically, most people feel like there should be nothing tomorrow. We should get zero news out of the Fed. Anything other than that would actually be negative because we're already seeing conditions tightening. If they tighten even further and we're slowing down, that could feel like a little bit of a double whammy.
How important are these trade talks? And by the way, you heard the news at the top of the show from Eunice Yoon, criminal charges against Huawei. At the same time, we're trying to make some kind of a beneficial deal for both sides on trade. Maybe not the best start.
No, I would say that's probably not the best start. And I don't anticipate that we're actually going to get necessarily positive trade talks given what is happening. And if you look at how many companies are exposed to those trade talks in one way or another, you talk about, tumbling NVIDIA outlook. That's because of China. These things actually are hitting the earnings numbers now. And so I think to imagine that these trade talks are just purely rhetorical, they're actually having impacts, and those impacts have so far been just presented clouds over a lot of earnings expectations.